Shabuya wrong car I go by. Yeah, I'm hella. I got some. That ain't. Can't stop this pimping. Cause I'm just playing. You won't ever catch me. Every breath in my body that God gives me, I will not let her case go cold.
Anitra Earl is the mother of 21-year-old Ayairia Anderson and was just a month or so away from having another grandchild.
This was her first child. She didn't even get to experience motherhood. They stole that from her. They stole that from her.
This is the story of Ayairia Anderson, a 21-year-old woman who was 8 months pregnant with her first child. She was eagerly preparing to welcome a son she had already named Jadari Jackie Davis. Tragically, Ayairia and her unborn child became innocent victims of senseless violence. On a Saturday night in June, while leaving a restaurant, Ayairia found herself caught in the crossfire of a heated altercation. She got shot and was rushed to the hospital where doctors performed an emergency surgery. Despite their efforts, both Ayairia and her baby lost their lives, leaving a community in shock and her family devastated. Who was behind this horrific act? Why did an innocent young mother-to-be and her child have to pay the ultimate price? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Jackson, Mississippi, a historic city in the heart of the Deep South, known for its rich cultural heritage and as a center of civil rights history. However, beneath its vibrant community and storied past, the city also faces challenges with crime and violence, a reality that has impacted countless lives, including that of Ayairia Anderson. Ayairia Anderson was a 21-year-old woman full of life and ambition. A proud graduate of South Grand Prairie High School, she was originally from Port Gibson, Mississippi, a small town known for its southern charm and tight-knit community. Ayairia worked as a preschool teacher, dedicating her time to nurturing and educating young minds. Her dream of motherhood was on the verge of becoming a reality as she prepared for the arrival of her first child, a son she had lovingly named Jadari Davis. Family and friends remember Ayairia as a loving and vivacious young woman. Known for her radiant smile and kind-hearted nature, she brought joy to everyone around her. Ayairia loved to dance and was often described as the life of the party. She had a natural ability to uplift others, making her a beloved figure in her community. Unfortunately, the life of Ayairia Anderson ended in an act of senseless violence that claimed not only her life, but also that of her unborn son. The tragedy unfolded in the early hours of Sunday, June 11, 2023. Ayairia had gone to Soups on Saturday night, June 10, for a casual evening out. By all accounts, the night was uneventful until a fight broke out inside the establishment. As tensions escalated, patrons hurriedly left the venue to avoid the brewing chaos. At approximately 1 a.m. on June 11, Ayairia attempted to leave the area in her vehicle. Tragically, as she tried to exit, she became caught in a crossfire between the feuding individuals. She was struck by 2 bullets, one in the head and one in the leg, while driving toward the northbound ramp of Interstate 220 from Industrial Drive. Her car crashed into an overpass. Friends who were with Ayairia that night immediately called 911 and tried to assist her. Emergency responders arrived promptly and rushed her to the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Due to the severity of her injuries, doctors performed an emergency C-section in a desperate attempt to save her unborn son. Despite their efforts, the baby did not survive. Ayairia succumbed to her injuries the following day, June 12, 2023. Ayaria's death sent shockwaves through her family, friends, and the Jackson community.
Anderson's mother and aunt say she was an outgoing person that never got into any kind of trouble, and after heading home from a night out with her friends, Anderson and her soon-to-be son got caught in the crossfire of senseless gun violence. Now, her family is begging for justice.
With every breath in my body that God gives me, I will not let her case go cold.
Anitra Earl is the mother of 21-year-old Ayairia Anderson and was just a month or so away from having another grandchild.
This was her first child. She didn't even get to experience motherhood. They stole that from her. They stole that from her.
Earl says Anderson was enjoying a night out with her friends at Soups Bar and Grill on Country Club Drive in West Jackson. While heading home for the night, she got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. According to JPD, Anderson was getting onto I-220 at Industrial Drive when she was shot once in the leg and another in the head. Her aunt, Katina Eggleston, recalled the moments inside University of Mississippi Medical Center following the shooting.
Once we got to the hospital, they really wasn't telling me anything once I got there. It took them like almost 2 hours to tell me something. And once they told me that they were taking her up to ICU and that they did an emergency C-section on her.
Anderson did not make it, and her unborn son that she had already named Jadari Jakai Davis did not survive the emergency C-section.
This hurt us. 2 people did not live because senseless gun violence. It makes no sense. The shooting needs to stop. The bullet is gonna land somewhere. When it come out that gun, it's traveling.
And it has no name.
At large, as well as this has been updated from a single homicide to a double homicide with the death of the child.
Her mother, Anitra Earl, spoke passionately about the loss of her daughter and grandson, vowing never to let the case go cold. Ayaria's aunt, Katina Eggleston, expressed her anguish and frustration over the senseless violence, emphasizing that neither Ayaria nor her baby deserved such a fate. As news of the incident spread, the Jackson Police Department launched an investigation, ruling the case a double homicide. Witness statements indicated that Ayairia was an innocent bystander, caught in the crossfire of the altercation at Soups. On June 22, 2023, after nearly 2 weeks of investigation, 2 suspects, brothers 21 years old Jashantas McClendon and 22 years old Jamarcus McClendon, surrendered to law enforcement. The McClendons were charged with murder, drive-by shooting, and shooting into an occupied vehicle. Both suspects were held without bond following a court hearing on June 23, 2023. Their attorneys argued that there was insufficient evidence linking the brothers to the crime. They claimed cell phone records placed the McClendons away from the scene at the time of the shooting, and that the brothers did not own firearms, matching the ballistics of the bullets recovered from the crime scene. The defense attorneys for Jashantas and Jamarcus McClendon continued to challenge the prosecution's case, criticizing the Jackson Police Department's investigation as sloppy. However, the prosecution emphasized the weight of witness affidavits and other evidence tying the brothers to the crime scene. On July 1, 2023, a celebration of life for Ayairia and her baby was held at the Port Gibson High School gymnasium in her hometown. Hundreds of mourners, including family, friends, and members of the community, gathered to honor their memory. As of the latest updates, the case remains unresolved, with the McClendons maintaining their innocence. The Jackson Police Department continues to seek additional evidence and eyewitness accounts. Ayaria's family persists in their call for justice, urging anyone with information about the crime to come forward. The tragic death of Ayairia Anderson and her unborn son, Jadari Jackie Davis, was a senseless act of violence that underscores the devastating consequences of unchecked gun violence. Ayairia, a bright young woman preparing for the joy of motherhood, had her life and dreams stolen in an instant. The loss of 2 lives, innocent and full of promise, highlights the urgent need for societal change to prevent such needless suffering. For Ayaria's family and loved ones, the pain of this loss will linger forever, casting a shadow over their lives. Her mother, Anitra Earl, who was eagerly awaiting the birth of her grandson, now faces an unimaginable void. The absence of Ayairia and her child serves as a constant reminder of what could have been a life filled with laughter, love, and cherished memories. The community and family's grief are a call to action, a plea for justice and for systemic changes to ensure no other family endures such heartache. My condolences to Ayaria's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.